Hey everyone, Spiders100 here, and I'm coming back with a video after my long hiatus and things like that, dealing with work and family, friends, all that junk. So, I am coming to you now with an actual idea for a video this time. Specifically dealing with it is, a little while ago, while I was shopping for food at a grocery store and things like that, I was approached, specifically, by a person who watches my videos, which surprised me. It was mind-blowing to me. And they asked me what are my plans for the channel and things like that, and they gave me some ideas, which I am so thankful for, is because that was one of the reasons why I wasn't making videos, is I didn't really know what the heck to do. I really didn't. So, I am, for this current series that's going to be coming up with it, and maybe some of the future, since Wizards of the Coast and things like that have been coming up with more and more classes for Dungeons & Dragons, I'm going to be doing my take and my review on some of them. Not some, all of them. Sorry. Being a little jumbled today because first video. So, I'm going to be starting at the beginning. In the player's handbook dealing with it, for at the beginning of the classes, we start with barbarian. Barbarians are the strength. They're the strength class, specifically. Is their saving throws that they're proficient in are strength and constitution, things like that. So their health and strength, that is their specific things. They're proficient in most martial weapons, not most, they're proficient in all martial weapons, and I think some simple weapons as well. I unfortunately do not have the book in front of me right now, so I cannot reference it very specifically. So, the first thing that they normally do get in their class is their unarmored defense, so it's their strength, it's their 10 plus their constitution modifier plus their proficiency bonus, if I remember it correctly. I may be wrong, please correct me in the comments below. And then they also, going into further levels and things like that, they gain their rage, which is they are immune to charmed effects. They gain a bonus to their damage. They have advantage on strength and I think dexterity saving throws. I'm not 100% sure on that one. And they also have resistance to slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning damage. So that means they take half damage to slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning, which is crazy for survivability. And then going past that into third level and further beyond, you get to choose your primal path. Your primal path, specifically, is basically your subclass. It's your specification on what you want to be. So starting out with it, and this is also including Xanathar's Guide to Everything, is there is the Berserker, who is, I have a lot of attacks and I'm in your face, and I'm going to be doing a lot of damage to you. Then there is the Totem Warrior, which you can choose an animal for a specific totem that gives you a special ability. Most of the time people choose Bear, is because Bear gives you resistance to all damage except Psychic, which is broken unless you're fighting an Illithid or something like that. Then there is also the Path of the Zealot. Path of the Zealot is basically, you are a barbarian who has gained the interest of a god via your strength, your resilience, your power that you're able to create just via your mind and your anger, and things like that. So you start to gain divine abilities. You, at one point dealing with it, you actually gain, I think it's an extra 2d8 damage, or just a d8 damage to your weapon attacks. Reviving you requires no material components, so you can just pop right back up immediately, things like that. Then there is, Path of the Storm Herald. So basically, this one is more of the magic-y barbarian. Is basically what they do is this. is as when they enter into a rage, the elements around them either become modified or generated into a storm that is around them. And it's an AoE, I think it's maybe 10 to 15 feet around them. And this storm can have different effects. It can cause fire damage, knock people on the ground, they can be struck by lightning, they can take cold damage, things like that, or possibly being frozen. And going with that. Then there is the Path of the Ancestral Guardian. Path of the Ancestral Guardian is... you are a person who in your tribe or things like that have a specific job where you are guarding the tombs, basically anything that is connected to the past or your ancestors or things like that. And because of that, and because of having these items, and specifically being able to go with it and your tribe's traditions and shamanistic natures and things like that, you are actually able to connect to those spirits that are that used to own those items or things like that. So because of that, when you enter into a rage, these spirits manifest beside you and they become an ally for you and your allies in the combat, so that you can have an extra person there dealing damage and all that junk. Personally, going in my opinion, dealing with it, barbarians are an essential piece to a gaming group, specifically in any party. The reason why is because it's very nice having the damage, but also it's nice having the strength-based character. Is barbarians can do a butt ton of damage, like going into level 10s and 15s and things like that. You start pumping out 60, 70 damage if you're doing it right, things like that. Keyword, if you're doing it right. And then the other dealing with it, having just a character that is based in strength, is if you have a party, specifically, that is more skill-based or things like that, they're probably going to be using their strength stat as a dump stat. And because of that, that actually causes to where, for example, a log in the road. There is no way around it for you to be able to pull your cart or to be able to walk around it because the environments or things like that. So you have a choice. You can try to move the log off the road or climb it. And both of those require strength. Climbing is specifically athletics, dealing with it, and moving it, it can be either athletics or strength itself. So that goes with that there. And if you have a skill party going with it, they're not going to be able to do it. And that is an impasse in the party. So, the cons, because the things I just listed before are pros to it, the cons to Barbarian is most of the time, from what I've seen dealing with my gaming group and also other people, is they believe Barbarians should be stupid, which, in my opinion, is a horrible idea. The reason why is, if your Barbarian is stupid, that means they don't know right from wrong. And that causes the person to start to gravitate, as my gaming group calls it, they start to gravitate towards chaotic stupid, which is a horrible thing to do. It can rip a game apart, things like that. But that's also my personal opinion. So, let me know your guys' opinion dealing with that, because I am always wondering on how that's going to be. But that's my point of view dealing with the Barbarian, and also a little bit of a review dealing with what they are specifically. Is because, like I was saying, they are a really essential point to the party. You can choose any primal path you want. They have all their merits and their downfalls and things like that. Is this Berserker, you start to take a lot of damage. You do a lot of damage, but you don't have a lot of defenses. Path of Totem Warrior, you can become very specific things. Totem of the Wolf, you gain pack tactics, which is advantage when your allies are near an enemy. You can totem of the bear, resists everything except psychic, and then totem of the eagle, which is specifically you gain advantage on wisdom perception checks and tracking and things like that. Then there is Path of the Zealot, which is you gain more divine effects, healing, damage, radiance, everything like that. Then there's Storm Herald, you're more magic-y, so you have this zone around you, but specifically, the downfall to that is it also affects your allies. And then there's Path of the Ancestral Guardian. The upside to it is that you gain an extra ally in the fight. The downside to it is that this ally can be destroyed pretty quickly. So, you have to make yourself the main target a lot more often. Things like that, and you're already bad enough as is as a barbarian, so you don't need the entire swarm on a single person type of a thing. So, there's always that. But, for now, going with it, I'm actually going to say goodbye to you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and also I think my little friend up there in the closet, because that little blinking light looks like an eyeball to me. I'm actually going to be saying goodbye to you all. I hope you enjoyed everything, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.